What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing you the best stop motion speech technique for action figures. The technique is very easy for beginners. You don't need any experience to do this whatsoever. Now, the reason I say for action figures is because, of course, as you know, if you're familiar with the channel, I don't do claymation. So when I animate speech, I can't just move the clay around and stuff like that. I use action figures like this, which is solid plastic. And obviously I can't move that without doing a little photoshopping kind of stuff. So I'll be showing you how I do that today. And the final result is very realistic. Like, the jaw will be moving and everything. You won't just have mouths moving, but the actual character's mouth will be moving with the speech. So this will be a huge help to anyone who uses action figures for their stop motion, just to make their production, higher quality, more engaging, more lifelike. Because something that always personally bothered me when I was younger, like when I was like a teenager or younger than that, watching like stop motion on YouTube and stuff, is when people would have the characters talking and you'd not even see, there'd be no mouth at all and the jaw moving, nothing. Like, it'd just be like, "Hello, what are you doing today?" "Yeah, I'm doing good." I can't watch that. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Like, just at least give the guy, just put a little mouth there. You know what I mean? Something, just something. But before we get into the tutorial, I want to give a quick update on the channel, the God's Last King series, my progress, plans, all that kind of stuff, right? So episode 1 part 2, the highly anticipated sequel is ready to go, okay? The only thing is, in August, I entered a competition, and one of the rules for the competition is that you can't release the video publicly until the judges have made their decision regarding like who won something, all that kind of stuff, what prizes they're gonna give out, yada, yada, yada. So that was August 25th was the deadline for that. And of course, right now is like, as I'm recording this, is October 27th. So that was 2 months ago. I spoke to, I believe, the organizer about a month ago, like September 20 something or late September, and he told me that the judges had only just then received the films and started watching them and stuff. So they've been watching them for like a month now. Hopefully in the near future, I'll receive a verdict whether I won something or not, and therefore I'd be able to release episode 1 part 2 of God's Last King. I didn't submit the entire episode 1 part 2, but a portion of it. And that portion is of course part of the bigger video, so I can't release the bigger video until I get that verdict, In the meantime, I've actually started working on episode 2, and I've completed about 30 seconds of that already. Now, going forward, I know I've been updating my plans for the channel a lot recently, and I'm really trying to focus down what the channel is about and stuff like that. When it's like niche down or whatever. Not really niching down, because this is already like a God's Last King channel. Even the tutorials are related to the series and stuff. But I really want to focus personally more on just animating the series, just that, not trying to think of oh, what tutorial do people want to see, or what video should I make, and all that kind of stuff. Just make the series. That's the whole reason for the channel's existence, is for the series. So I just want to focus on animating the series from now on, and I would only do a tutorial or something if somebody asked me in the comments "Yo, how did you do this?" And I'll be like, "Okay, I'll make a video showing you how I did it," that kind of stuff. But I don't want to be planning or thinking "Oh, hey, what tutorial should I make?" or "Oh, it's just too much." I just want to just do the series, and that's it. That way I can produce episodes more frequently, and the channel will eventually become a place where people can just watch the series. There'll just be tons of episodes that you can just binge watch the series kind of thing, rather than having to wait 6 months for an episode. Maybe I could produce them much faster. And in the same vein as being able to produce episodes more frequently, is I've decided to actually make each episode shorter, right? For example, episode 1 was originally going to be comprised of episode 1 part 1, episode 1 part 2, episode 2 and episode 3. All 4 of those were gonna be originally released together as episode 1. But when I started actually producing the episode, I realized that it was taking a lot longer than I thought it would. And that's why I decided to release episode 1 part 1 first, and then release part 2 later. And so now I've decided I'll just make each episode itself shorter. So for example, instead of having episode 1 part 1, episode 1 part 2, I will have just episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. Each installment would be an episode, not a part of an episode. All right, now on to the speech animation tutorial stuff we're gonna get into here today, right? In episode 1, part 1, as you saw, my speech technique was basically just superimposing digital mouths on top of the action figures mouths, right? In some scenes, I did erase the plastic mouth underneath so it could look even more realistic, but I found that to be quite tedious and time consuming, so I stopped doing that, and I only did it for a small part of part 1. In episode 1, part 2, I actually started adding jaw movement to the speech, right? So not only did I have the mouths moving, but actually the action figures' jaws move when they talk as well, as you will see when episode 1, part 2 is finally released at some point. And now I've begun, of course, as I mentioned, episode 2, and what I want to do for episode 2 is the best of both worlds, right? I want to have, of course, the mouth speaking, I want to have the action figure's jaw moving, and I also want to erase the plastic mouth underneath so that it looks like completely fluid, like if this is just the action figure's mouth. There's no plastic mouth underneath the digital mouth or nothing like that. It's just, this is the action figure's actual mouth talking and the jaw is moving and everything. My goal, of course, is to make each episode or each installment better than the last. So I want part 2 to be better than part 1. I want episode 2 to be better than episode 1. I want episode 3 to be better than episode 2, you know, that kind of thing going forward. So let's now get into it. I'll show you how to do this, how to do what I believe is the best, most effective, and most versatile, most realistic stop motion speech technique for action figures. All right, so if you saw part 1, you'll remember this scene.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
And what I'm going to be doing here is basically giving this image an updated speech animation, okay? So this is the original frame, of course, frame 0 we'll call it. All right, so let's zoom in here, okay? And we're going to be doing 2 frames. So just this one, the original, and then one where he's talking. So let's just right click this here, duplicate layer, frame number 1. And you know my favorite tool already, if you've seen my other tutorials, you're gonna get that K's transform tool. And we're gonna just outline his jaw here. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. No experience needed. Just click and outline. Alright. Let's go back up a bit, zoom out a little bit. All right, here we go. And the thing is, like, when we interpolate this to 60 frames per second, you're gonna see how the AI transitions pretty smoothly between his physical mouth and the digital mouth we'll be adding, because we're gonna have to erase his physical mouth so that it looks even more realistic when we put the digital mouth there. Like if it's his real mouth, right? You won't see like his mouth underneath there. So all right, let's double check. So if you turn that on and off, you'll see his jaw moves, right? Like he's talking, you know? And let's now erase his physical mouth so that we can put a digital mouth on there in Adobe Premiere. So let's click the clone tool, or whatever video editor you have should be able to do it. So you want to hold Control and click where you want to copy, or like go up here, and then just drag like this to erase, well, undo that, hold on, to, you know, cover up his mouth, right? Like that. Hold on. All right, so that mouth is gone. Let me just hide it a little bit more. Let's get this. Okay, that looks pretty solid, right? His mouth is gone. Yeah. So let's now export these. Just click File, Export As, and save them in the folder that you want to save them in or whatever. And once that is done, we're going to head over to Adobe Premiere Pro, where we're going to animate him talking at 12 frames per second. Then we're gonna use Flowframes, the AI software, to make that 60 frames per second, and that'll be the final result of this tutorial. All right, so here we are in Premiere Pro, and we're gonna wanna make a sequence where we're gonna, edit the speech and all that kind of stuff, right? So the first thing you can do is just like right click on one of the pictures and then click new sequence from clip, right? And it'll automatically make a sequence for you, which should be like the same size as the picture and stuff like that. We could change the name to speech sequence. Okay. Now this is the second time I'm recording this because a lot of garbage happened the first time. This is why I hate recording on Zoom, but Zoom does have the green screen feature. So I'm, I guess learning the ropes with the Zoom. All right, now if you're gonna use Flowframes like I will, you wanna make sure that the video you export from Premiere Pro or whatever video editor you're using is not bigger than 1080p. Whenever I've tried to do a 4K video in Flowframes, it gives me an error. So I'm assuming it can't handle 4K. So to do that, make sure it's the right size and all that. Click the sequence there, click sequence settings, make sure it's 1920 by 1080. This already is, great. Then change the frame rate to 12 frames per second, which is what I usually work at. I do not, manually work at 60 frames per second because that is just insanity. So 12 is good to go, click OK. Now we want to add the audio. So that is this right here. Click and drag it on the audio track. You want to like crop it down or trim it down to its right size. Like that, right?
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Okay, and just make that shorter there. And to make the quality of the audio better, there are some effects I usually use. So let's get the denoise first of all. Then there's the parametric equalizer. And last but not least, the single band compressor. All right, go to effect controls. For denoise, click edit. Usually I think 80% should be pretty good, depending on how noisy your background is. If you have like a bunch of trash in your background, then you're probably gonna need the whole 100. But with the 100, I've encountered times where there's been like, distortion. So I think 80 is a much safer number to go with. There are of course presets. So I think heavy noise reduction is automatically 80. Light noise reduction should be like what, 60? No, 20. Okay, so heavy is usually what I go with, okay? 80%. Now for the parametric equalizer, click edit. Vocal enhancer will help the voice sound better. And then single band compressor, you want to go for like either voiceover or voice thickener. I think voiceover worked better for this video. And then the audio might be a little low now because of these effects.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Yeah, so you want to increase the audio. Let's say right click, audio gain, increase it by like 10. Let's listen again.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
All right, so let's get here. And now what I'm gonna do is actually just time the images of his mouth open and closed to the audio, okay? So this one is just right? So like this, right? Then to copy this one, hold Alt, click and double click it, drag it, right? So he's like, okay?
Sorry.
Okay, and now he's gonna say, sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
And you can also click, you can click I on the timeline to make an in point. You can click O to make an out point, okay? And you can loop with this button here. You can loop a certain section like,
sorry about that, sorry about that, sorry about that.
Right? If you don't see the button there, you can click this plus sign and you should be able to find it right here. Click and drag it, press OK, and you can use it. So now you gotta do sorry about that. So let's see, sorry, let's see, sorry Let's put this right here. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry about, let me see, hold on.
Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry. All right, so let's make this shorter actually. Don't delete. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see how that looks.
Sorry about that.
Hold on. Click out.
Sorry about
Okay. Sorry
about that.
let's see. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay.
Sorry about that.
I think the about could be a little faster.
Sorry about that.
Hold on.
Sorry about that.
Well,
sorry about that.
no, that's fine. All right. Sorry about that. He's gonna say my Japanese.
My Japanese.
All right, hold on.
My Japanese. My Japanese.
All right. Let's see. My Japa. Oh, hold on. My Japa. All right, let's see.
My Japa.
Let's put this here. Copy that. Alright, so this should go a little longer. Knees is
my Japanese is
okay, my Japanese is let's extend that. A bit rusty.
My Japanese.
Hold on.
My Japanese is
let's make this a little shorter, I think. Hold on. Carry that back.
My Japanese is
Okay, that's good. My Japanese is let's just drag this. My Japanese is okay, that's good. And then we gotta get a bit rusty.
A bit
Alright. A bit rusty. A bit. Well, actually, a bit. And then rusty. Hold on. Let's get this. Rusty.
A bit rusty.
Alright, let's see.
A bit rusty.
Okay, and then put this one there. Copy that. Alright, extend that, I mean.
A bit rusty.
Okay, now let's see how it looks from the beginning.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Alright, hold on.
Sorry about that.
I think they might come fast enough. So let's carry that back one and then drag all this forward a bit. All right.
That my Japanese is a bit rusty.
Okay, good. So that is done. Now we're gonna add the mouths, right? So for just gonna put this right here. Extend it over there, yeah. All right. Go to Effect Controls, click on the mouth, and we're gonna just like, you know, basically drag it to where it fits the positioning well. And you want to turn off the uniform scale and make it a little wider. So like let's say 150, 140. All right, so that's pretty good. Now 575. Let's do 580. And then carry it across like 940. Want to tilt it a bit like 2. Okay. Change the height to like 90. Okay, that's pretty good. Now you also want to change the color of the lips to match his real lips. So I'm going to extend that forward, then use the razor tool to cut that. And I'm going to move this first one down so I can see his real lips. And then I'm going to get an effect called Lumetri Color. All right, click and drag that onto here. Click Effect Controls. We're going to click on Curves under Lumetri Color. And I want to go to the Hue versus Hue selector, which is here. Click that little eyedropper thing. Click on his lips, the fake lips actually. Click on the fake lips. Then we're going to drag this stuff around to change the color of those lips to look like his real lips. Okay, so that color looks pretty close, but a little too saturated. So let's go up here under Basic. Let's go for like saturation of 90. And let's decrease the darkness. Let's decrease the exposure to minus 0.5. Let's do minus 0.4. That should be good enough. All right, so now the color is good. You want to right click on it, right? Right click, copy, and you want to paste that Lumetri Color. Right click, paste attributes, paste the Lumetri Color, not the motion, onto this other mouth so it changes the color so it looks like his real lips. Okay, and delete the other one now. Click on that, press delete, and good. So now let's see.
Sorry.
Okay, so you see it says right. Now we're gonna do the rest of the mouths. So let's go here. He says sorry about that, right? Saw. So we got S here, right here. Although, well, let me see. Since he sings saw. Okay. Sorry. All right, let's get the S here. S. And then let's extend that. Delete that. Extend this. And then delete this as well. Extend that and then put an O there. Sorry.
Sorry about.
All right, hold on. Let's click and drag on these. Right click, paste attributes, Lumetri Color and motion. Let's see how that looks.
Sorry about that.
Why is it done there? Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let's right click, copy on this one. Click and drag, paste attributes. Yeah.
Sorry about. Sorry about.
All right, hold on. Let me drag this like that, right? Drag that like that. And let's bring this one here instead. All right, saw, re, let's get R. All right, and then right click on that as well. Paste attributes, motion, elementary color. All right.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right, let's put this O here again. Oh wait, that's R. Put this O here again. And then for T, about. Now let's click that, right click, paste attributes, motion and color. All right, and then let's look in the beginning.
Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry about. Now we need a T again, so click Alt with Alt on that. Let's get an A again. Right, let's get a T again.
That.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
Sorry about that.
Okay, cool. And then let's go here.
My Japanese.
So here, let's put neutral lips. Although, well, no, this is actually M. Right. So let's right click on there, paste attributes, motion elementary color. That's kind of flat. Okay. Let's extend the height of that to like 150. All right, let's do 250. All right. And then, all right, let's see.
My Japanese.
So let's go to frames. Let's get A again. My. So MA. Let's do E. Let's delete this. Extend this. All right, and then let's paste the geometric color and motion onto these two as well. All right.
My Japanese.
Okay. Let's get A again. Let's see here. Should be here. Yeah. My ja. All right, let's leave that. Hold on. My Japanese.
My Japanese.
All right. My ja. All right. Hold on, let me delete this. Delete this as well, and just put mouth close frame in there.
My Japanese.
Okay, there we go.
My Japanese.
My ja. My ja.
My Japanese.
My Japanese. A. For N, I would use like this. All right. Let's do this. E. And then S. Let's see. All right, drag all of these, right click, paste attributes. All right.
My Japanese is.
My Japa. Let's see.
My Japanese is.
Okay, that should be good.
My Japanese is.
Okay. You can say a bit rusty. A bit rusty. bit
rusty.
A bit rusty. A bit rusty. A bit rusty. Alright, let's see.
My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Alright, let's just proper motion on all of those and coloring. Click and drag. Right click. Paste attributes. Motion and color. Alright, let's see how this looks now.
My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Okay.
My Japanese is a bit rusty. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
A bit. I think here I'm gonna put an S and just like make it the same size as Israel mouth. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's cool. Let's see.
My Japanese is a bit rusty.
There we go. Perfect. So just note that maybe you could actually use, maybe you could do like 3 frames. So like 1 frame with his mouth just normal, the default action figure mouth. 1 frame where his jaw hasn't moved, but his mouth is gone. And then 1 frame with the mouth gone and the jaw moved, right? So that way, like for example, frames like this, where his jaw is closed, but his mouth is like this or whatever, you could just use that instead of putting it over the real mouth like I did, but it works in that situation, but it may not work in every case, right? So let's render this. Right click, clear in and out. Click sequence, render into out. And it shouldn't take long, it's just 12 frames per second.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Okay. And let's now export this. You can either press Ctrl M or click export. And then you want to choose where you want to save it to, choose the correct name or whatever. And you can either export it in Adobe like I usually export it with Adobe Media Encoder because that works faster than Premiere Pro. But you can also export it in Adobe Premiere itself right here. So decide which one you want to do, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so here is Flowframes. And if you've seen my tutorial, you already know how to use it. Just click Browse Video, choose the video you want, and you want to change this to ×5 to get 60 frames per second, and then press Interpolate, and I'm going to show you the final result in a minute. All right, so I have the 60 frames per second here. Here's what it looks like.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
So it's like smoother and stuff. And then let's look at the 12 frames per second again, just to see.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
Right, so you can see the difference. Now what I'm gonna do is actually just add a background to the 60 frames per second one. And so now I'm gonna show you what it looks like, the original version, and then this new updated version with a different type of speech. Of course, this time I didn't animate the eyes and stuff like I did last time, but just focus on the way the speech looks. Yeah.
Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty. Sorry about that. My Japanese is a bit rusty.
So there you have it, folks. That is how I animate speech for stop motion with my action figures. Hope it was helpful. If there's anything else you've seen me do, or maybe you think I might know how to do and you want to learn how to do it, then leave a comment and I'll add it to my list. Look forward to more episodes of God's Last King, hopefully in the near future. I'm actually very excited that I'm now finished this video so I can continue animating. So thank you for all your support and take care for now.